All right. Hello, everyone, and now welcome to a game between the Sock versus, I believe this is Happy. Let me go ahead and double check. Yep, Sock versus Happy. This game taking place here on Northern Isle. Here we have Sock spawning as the blue human player over here on the bottom left-hand side of the map. Meanwhile, over here on the top right, we have Happy spawning as the red undead. Opening up Altar of Darkness and a Ziggurat most likely means it will be your standard crypt opening followed into ghouls and maybe perhaps some crypt fiends, but there should be some early ghouls early in this match. Northern Isle, perhaps one of the introduction new maps that got added into the map pool that I actually really enjoy. It opens up for a lot of interesting play. The fact that there isn't a lot of those forest troll shadow priests that end up casting frost armor everywhere is nice as well. These are all things that you have to consider as a map maker in terms of design. Something as simple as an early creep at your green creep camp, all of a sudden, if it does apply frost armor to everything, well, ghouls, grunts, footmen, all of them are going to have a much more difficult time trying to clear up a creep camp as opposed to, say, mass archers. And then, well, that map would maybe then be favored by a particular race. All things to consider, or things that you have to worry about or try and change up if you are, well, a player. So yeah, you want diversity, but you don't want the map so different from everything else that you almost have to learn how to play Warcraft 3 on that specific map since it is so different. Anyways, let's go ahead and break things down in this matchup so far. Death Knight about to make its way out. There's that graveyard. Tomb of Relics is done. A couple of ghouls will be making their way out. Meanwhile, Footman Militia already making a shift down and back over here. Conjurus Rex, let's take a look. Militia gonna make their way over to that Null Warden, or actually a Footman. And now that you saw a Purge, well, what are we gonna end up seeing here? Acolyte gonna try and get some damage onto this Militia, but the Acolyte is gonna, well, be forced to back up here in just a moment, as we may see this Acolyte still doing just a bit of scouting. Back off to the north, Happy continuing to make his way through, clearing out Ogre Warrior creep camps with no, well, with a pretty standard effect there. Death Knight is going to be able to pick up Gloves of Haste. There is a lot of skeletal minions coming across, and oh, we may end up seeing a surround. No, Footman able to sneak back out, trying to get some damage onto that Death Knight as units are making away. Now, if you are Sock and you're wondering, hey, why can't I do this particular strategy? I'm going to shift the colors if I can. There we go. Shift the colors so that Candies is blue, so you can see who is who. Archmage now making their way back down here. Acolyte still shifting back and forth. And you got to know when your opponent's hero, that Death Knight, is going to get to level 2. As soon as level 2 is available on that Death Knight, what you're going to see is that the Death Knight is going to be able to easily surround your unit with that unholy aura. So that Footman carefully well retreated back, knowing, you know what, I cannot stick around and harass any longer. That Death Knight with unholy aura will be able to get some easy surrounds on me in just a moment, as the Death Knight now makes its way down. We are looking at a Militia clear over here on the, well, 6 o'clock position. Death Knight waiting to get some more Rod of Necromancy charges ready to go. And here we are, first action of the game. Archmage, double Mantles of Intelligence. So that is very high damage indeed, and extra mana. That could potentially be a problem, as the, well, Water Elemental now taking down skeletal minions, now making their way through. How much damage is going to be had as the Militia are just trying to shift all over? Death Knight still sitting at level 2. Archmage may try to get to level 3 here. Death Knight does have a Death Coil available, as the skeletal minions and Acolytes are still fighting their way through. One Water Elemental could end up getting taken down. There goes an Acolyte there. Death Knight of Happy taking a lot of damage, much more damage than he would perhaps want or realizes, as the Archmage is just shy of level 3. There's a Death Coil right there. He saw the Sock saw the Death Coil onto the Crypt Fiend and says, you know what, I knew that the Death Coil is not going to allow for a steal on that Ogre Magi. And with that, oh, is that peasant going to go ahead and jump inside? Oh, yes, does jump inside temporarily, but he still gets the kill. Beautifully done by Happy for that little bit of extra micro. Footman now going to retreat back. we are speed building this town hall. Tech to tier 2 is already done for Happy, so that delay in that expansion going to allow for a Lich and perhaps Obsidian statues and Crypt Fiends. Now the follow-up play from Happy, he wants to try and punish that expansion before enough towers are up. Sock's game plan, he knows that he's invested time and energy into this expansion. He wants to keep it up as long as possible, either with harassment of his own or with a proper defense. Footmen, I don't believe they have defend as of yet. There comes the units. Are they going to try and get us around here? There's that Death Knight as the Archmage. Not going to come back around. Death Knight getting or taking a little bit of damage here. More skeletal minions going to join in on the fight. No tech to tier 2 on that Arcane Tower as of yet. As we see that is going to be incredibly important. Peasants now getting taken down. Arcane Tower going to go ahead and get cancelled there as the Archmage now makes its way over, drops a water elemental, and now trying to protect all of these precious peasants as Happy's still going to go ahead and try and engage. Lich is out onto the field. Where is that Death Knight? Death Knight still has a potion. No, used the potion of healing already. Archmage should be able to really put in a lot of pressure onto that Death Knight, force that Death Knight to retreat. There is the damage onto that Crypt Fiend instead, as you're going to see that Death Knight taking a lot of damage from that Archmage. Archmage does have boots of speed. He should be able to catch up rather easily there. Going to get in even more damage. The Death Knight has to be in a mad run now. It looks as though damage is getting added up. Lich is going to get in position there. Nope, not a Frost Nova either, as that Lich now absorbing quite a bit of damage. Sock has major damage with that +8 and that additional intelligence, allowing him to drop additional water elementals as Sock is looking to set up his expansion here. Alright, water elementals are in position, adding in more damage again. Crypt Fiend, however, going to get healed by that Death Knight here in just a moment, as we should be looking at our first Obsidian statue in the next 20 seconds or so. There you go, Obsidian statue. Right, already in play, going to start providing healing, and this harassment coming in from Sock is now going to just fall a little bit short, especially with that Obsidian statue topping off not only hit points for all of these units, but providing mana to that Death Knight. If it is manually being microed by, yep, it is manually being microed. You can see both the green hand and the blue hand at times, as a Footman now going to get taken down. Footman trying to, shift away, get away. Footman was trying to perhaps get in front of that Obsidian statue, not able to do so. Low hit point Footman now going to be backing around. Water Elemental low on hit points, giving level 3 to the Death Knight. Level 3 on the Death Knight. Level 2 Death Coil going to be coming across onto that low hit point Crypt Fiend right there. There you have it, as Footman finally have defend. Footman with defend trying to reflect back some of that damage, and Sock is just not winning out in this micro war. Who would have thought a micro war up against Happy, and Happy is absolutely taking this right now. Units trying to get away. There goes another Footman again, as the Footmen are in a pure retreat mode once more. There goes another Death Coil, and the Death Knight dealing so much damage, leading this army, playing on a razor's edge with low hit points and low mana, but now almost giving level 2 to that Lich. What is Sock's options right now? Sock has the expansion, but he is behind in tech. His opponent is halfway to tier 3. However, Sock himself getting to tier 3 to add now a major power spike in the army with the presence of the Mountain King. Mountain King should be able to deal a good amount of damage here in just a moment, perhaps stun down a couple of units, and it feels like Death Knight knows that this is definitely the case. With the Mountain King's presence, all of a sudden you're able to, poke down some units here, and are we going to see the Death Knight perhaps try and get away? Archmage is in the front, Water Elemental is here as well, damage is trying to come off through. There's a Stormbolt onto multiple units, as we're going to see a surround onto this one Crypt Fiend. Crypt Fiend, however, does have Frost Armor, making it that much more difficult to finish off. Archmage now going after an Obsidian statue, as the Archmage down to 122 hit points. It's going to try and run away. A beautiful, well-timed Scroll of Town Portal saves that level 3 Archmage, but still a victory for Happy. Happy, glad that he was able to force a Death Coil or force a Scroll of Town Portal. That Obsidian statue was low on hit points, and 3 more shots would have finished it off, as the Archmage tries to heal back up and get into position. All right, back off to the north here. Archmage sitting at 400 hit points. We are almost at tier 3. Low hit point water elemental just simply gonna stay home as the, well, Spellbreakers now join in on the fight. Archmage, how much damage can it really do? You still see more experience there. Spellbreakers now with a good, well, with some feedback damage too. Archmage just trying to dance outside of range, adding in damage onto this Obsidian statue. Obsidian statue cannot take that much damage, and since it cannot, well, be death coiled, it is a major problem. All right, Archmage trying to go back the other way. Now you see the Obsidian statue down to 104. Let's take a look at this, down to 78 hit points. Archmage going straight after this Mountain King, could get taken down. One more, trading a level 1 Mountain King for this Obsidian statue. What is happening as the Mountain King gets taken out there? Archmage going to be able to finish off that Obsidian statue. No, one more shot. Wow, that additional frost armor really adding in quite a bit. There is that final shot here. Meanwhile, Spellbreakers and Footmen are in retreat. This was just a horrible, horrible play for Sock right now. His micro versus Happy's micro. Happy able to take down a Mountain King. Losing one Obsidian statue, that's easily replaced, and, well, forcing the Archmage to also use another potion of healing. Orb of Fire, pretty much standard play now, going up against the Undead to try and minimize the effectiveness of that 600 hit point heal from that Death Knight. Plus 15 damage, also going to be helping out tremendously as well, as the Knights may be, well, trying to get Sundering Blades. Yep, there it goes, being able to deal extra damage to, well, medium armored units. All right, Ogre Magi absorbing quite a bit there. Archmage looking to back up. Mountain or Paladin joining in on the fight. Paladin wants to get to level 2. Potion of Greater Mana, a very nice item right there, as the Paladin should be able to heal a lot of units very, very easily. All right, there goes that Tuskar Trapper, level 2 on the Paladin. Now might be Divine Shield, as the army of Happy now making its way down. All right, let's take a look at this farm, all in position. We're going into a pit lord. Fly machines are overhead. These farms could end up just getting canceled. It's buying time. And let's take a look. Oh, is it going to try and be repaired? It is not going to be repaired. It is just destroyed as the Archmage now comes into position. Flat cannons are getting added. Massive repair now getting underway. Perhaps the Arcane Tower should be going after a unit that actually has mana, as we're now taking a look. Mountain King in that front line spot. All right, Death Coil saving. Oh, no, not able to save a Crypt Fiend right there. First micro slip by Happy, as the Crypt Fiends are now trying to make their way back. Knights with Sundering Blades dealing bonus damage almost finishes off a Crypt Fiend there, as the Knights are trying to finish off more units. Knight down to 277 hit points. It is in a massive retreat as well. Staff of Sanctuary saving that Knight now, as that Mountain King does need a Holy Light, but no, instead trades it for a Crypt Fiend. There goes a Footman as well. Both sides trading blows, as we are now looking at Rain of Fire coming down across multiple units. But then again, Rain of Fire not very effective, obviously, against these Spellbreakers. Additional scout towers now getting added in. Spellbreaker could try and turn back around and get some damage onto that Pit Lord. Could have perhaps stopped the Rain of Fire entirely by removing mana. Spellbreaker now trying to head back again, as the Pit Lord is still in that frontline spot, causing so many problems. Still no Animal War training. Training up Knights over Animal War training, or was Animal War training? Nope, yeah. Training up Knights over Animal War training, as the scout tower is still, not even under construction, just scaffolding at this point. Paladin making its way back over Water Elemental. Let's take a look. Are we going to see a Holy Light? Oh, Holy Light, but Death Coil is instantaneous when it is next to that Death Knight, and the Holy Light just a little bit shy right there. Meanwhile, Mountain King does come back around. That is going to cause a little bit of, well, further delay. Stormbolt onto a Crypt Fiend. Are we going to see Orb of Fire right there? There's a Death Coil trying to save it. Are we going to see a Holy Light trying to go after other units as well, as that low hit point Crypt Fiend was able to escape? Mountain King may fall for a third time. No, gets a Holy Light in order to back up. Meanwhile, the Archmage is still going after those Obsidian statues, and it looks like, oh, there goes a Crypt Fiend and an Obsidian statue, as that was a big swing right there. 60 supply compared to 50, a loss of 7 supply as the Archmage and the units are still trying to engage. Stormbolt goes down onto the Lich, and Happy is actually having a little bit of trouble here. Is he going to be able to keep these units alive? Mountain King going to be in trouble. Staff of Sanctuary saves him, as the Paladin might actually be in trouble now. Paladin trying to retreat back. Let's take a look. Low hit point Crypt Fiend. Archmage could be in trouble. Archmage down to 205 hit points, able to survive because of a Holy Light right there as the units are slipping back every which way. There goes a Crypt Fiend, but Sok cannot allow those units to just be standing there. He needs to micro them back. And the loss of those units right now in this battle, perhaps a major problem as a knight is about to get taken down. Units now regathering together. Meanwhile, where is that Paladin going? Paladin is trying to run around every which way. Happy's units are all close together. And in a very, very aggressive maneuver, now clearing up a creep camp. Alright, clearing out a creep camp after a battle like that. Hats off to Happy for knowing that he could do such an aggressive creep camp right now and not have to worry. We are looking at a handful of knights here. Sok is sitting at 62 supply compared to 58. The hero levels should be telling the majority of the story right now. It is 4-2 going up against 3-2-1, which means Sok's additional army and army size is just turning and translating into experience for Happy's army. The question is the army size advantage going to be enough to overcome when it's only a 5 supply difference? And that may be partially because, well, there is extra peasants on the field. Knights are at currently 1-0 upgrade against 3-1 upgrades on those Crypt Fiends. Stormbolt now onto some of those units as we're now seeing an engagement. Knights going after. Are we going to see a Death Coil right there? Units trying to engage. Mountain King up in that front line spot. Flying Machines going after a couple of the destroyers as well, as a Knight could be in trouble. No Staff of Sanctuary. Big surprise there. I thought the cooldown would have definitely allowed for it, as one Crypt Fiend. Oh, one more shot should do it, but the Pit Lord able to keep it alive. Knight down to 239 hit points. There's one more shot. It got Holy Lighted, and now Staff of Sanctuary back out. Another Knight could end up getting taken down. There it goes. Level 5 on the Death Knight. Level 4 on the Lich. Level 2 on the Pit Lord. Double Water Elemental is going to get taken out there. And as they are taken out, more experience still. Death Knight now with a Pipe of Insight, Brilliance Aura, and Brilliance Aura on Obsidian statues is just an absolute blessing for Happy. Mountain King does have that Staff of Sanctuary. That's why you saw 2 subsequent Staff of Sanctuaries very quickly. Are we going to see Mountain King trying to pick up the Circlet of Nobility? Does get it away in time. There's some Devour Magic and more experience again as the units are trying to retreat. Mountain King able to slip on through. He's the one with the Boots of Speed now, as all the units are now shifting back down. Flat Cannons, Flying Machine. Flat Cannons don't matter very much unless your opponent actually has additional air units to splash, as we now see that Rain of Fire causing problems, death and damage to all of those peasants. Flying Machines now trying to get into a good position there. Stormbolt onto that Lich. Lich is going to be able to get away. Death Coil saving that Lich once again. Archmage, Orb of Fire trying to go after all of these units again. Are we going to see some damage onto perhaps this low hit point Knight or low hit point Crypt Fiend, going deep after other Crypt Fiends as well? Holy Light saving up a frontline Knight again. And we are still seeing all of those units continuing the chase. Death Coil trying to save more units. More destroyers showing up onto the field. Where are the Flying Machines? They are webbed down. And that is the reason why the destroyers can actually engage. Knights continuing the chase again. Knight and in trouble. No Staff of Sanctuary. Not in time. Perhaps a bit of range issues as the destroyer trying to head back. Staff of Sanctuary saving. I believe that was a Spellbreaker. But a Flying Machine going to get caught out of position. So far, Happy on one base, continuing to win all of these battles, all of these micro wars, as the Pit Lord is now calling down Rain of Fire again. This is now Happy's game to lose. He has decent control as long as he doesn't prolong the game until he doesn't have any gold mining. He should be fine, as the hero level advantage is going to start to show itself more and more. Once the Paladin and Mountain King get to level 3 though, well, the additional 200 hit point heal and 100 hit point damage from the Stormbolt and Holy Light is going to change things dramatically. Death Knight still dancing around on the far side, needs to stay alive as the units are just unable to get to that Death Knight. Death Knight with that faster movement speed from Unholy Aura and being able to slow down Knights with that Frost Armor. Such a big difference there as the Mountain King and Paladin now gets to level 3. Alright, Death Knight down to 262 hit points, still comfortably staying behind the lines. Pit Lord in that front line. Death Coil continuing again. Mountain King down to, well, doesn't have enough mana yet. Spellbreaker getting in some extra as well. That Death Knight is just running circles around the armies, literally, and is able to stay alive. Low hit point Crypt Fiend able to escape at 57 hit points. Stormbolt dodged. Paladin saved as we now reset the battle. Alright, we only have about 3.5 minutes of mining left. This expansion only has, 6 minutes of mining left. So there's only going to be a 3-minute difference in terms of mining. Sock carefully making sure, was at no upkeep, now finally in low upkeep here as he rebuilds his army. Are you done with brushing your teeth and all your morning routine? Okay. Go get some rice. Alright, coming back down across here, Crypt Fiends here, ready to go, clearing out that expansion. Meanwhile, quick reveal, making sure there's no shade, keeping track of the army. Mountain King will get to level 3 finally, but is it too little too late? Mountain King at level 3. There's a Ring of Regeneration being left behind. Perhaps he sees the army rushing back down. Archmage had room. Paladin would love a Ring of Regeneration as it keeps him alive a little while longer. Goldmine should be almost done mining here in just a moment. Archmage, there's a Stormbolt onto the Lich. We should be looking at a Death Coil right there, saving that Lich here in just a moment. Flying Machines continuing to fight their way back through, but still more experience getting added up for that Death Knight and Undead army. Archmage going after some additional units again. Death Knight able to get off a Death Coil to save another unit. These Knights just not having enough armor and enough ways to stay alive as another Stormbolt goes down onto the Death Knight here. Death Knight does have a Potion of Lesser Invulnerability in addition to a Potion of Mana, so should be able to get off multiple Death Coils. We're going to take a look. There goes another Knight again. No Staff of Sanctuary, and the Staff of Sanctuary should really be prioritized for Knights and Spellbreakers to try and deny any sort of experience. It seems like the Death Knight is just constantly able to gain more and more experience again, as we're looking at, well, an accidental Rain of Fire perhaps, as the units are going to try and engage once more. Obsidian Statue very low. There it goes. Gets taken down. Lich going to be in trouble. Down to, well, up to 600 hit points after a Death Coil. Saves it again. Meanwhile, Knights are going to continue to engage. Mountain King trying to get damage. There goes one. Is he going to be able to finish off one Crypt Fiend? Is another Crypt Fiend going to get taken down? There was a bash there, and all of a sudden the army of the Undead happy so low as Sock was able to recover so much. And now with only a minute of mining left on the main gold mines, is Happy's army going to be able to stick around long enough? Stormbolt onto the Death Knight. Death Knight taking a good amount of damage. Let's take a look. Pit Lord trying to run up in that front line spot, and the Water Elementals, Spellbreakers, everything adding in together. Mountain King having so much mana, 420 mana, making a major difference right there, and just being able to throw Stormbolt after Stormbolt. Pit Lord is in trouble. Death Coil is temporarily saving him. Staff of Sanctuary saves, I believe, the Mountain King. Are we going to see a Knight? Yes, get staffed out as well. And Staff of Sanctuary on the Archmage, the Paladin, and the Mountain King now finally having its effect there. Happy's now down to 40 supply compared to 58 with only 18 seconds of mining left. Meanwhile, the expansion is going to continue to give Sock a little bit more gold. Is the hero level advantage of Happy going to be able to hold on enough, or will the Archmage, Paladin, and Mountain King be able to get back in? Mountain King, you remember, is currently out of commission. He is not in the battle. He is Staff of Sanctuary as the Rain of Fire now coming down. No worry about Stormbolt disrupting any of this here. Paladin could be in trouble. Paladin, is he going to get taken down to 86 hit points? And he is temporarily out of commission, but no experience was given either. All right, Flying Machines overhead, unable to do anything. Knights now leading the way, and the Knights are now very powerful as the Flying Machines are currently unchallenged in the skies. And if a destroyer does happen to go into the air, well, what does that mean? It means a very bad day for that destroyer, as we're looking at the units now making their rounds out. I thought, no, that was a Staff of Sanctuary. No, we have Mountain King is currently out in play. Is it going to be going after any of those other units? Stormbolt onto a Crypt Fiend could finish it off. Mountain King is currently in trouble. Stormbolt. Mountain King now down to 129 hit points, and it gets taken down. Hero level advantage. Happy is starting to really start to take an effect here as the level 5 Lich was also killed. Level 5 Lich, Mountain King was lost. No Paladin now trying to make its way back over. Spellbreaker going to rejoin in on the fight as well as Knights are engaging. Death Coil onto a low hit point Knight, but the Staff of Sanctuary saves that. Staff of Sanctuary becoming the MVP of this battle, even though it was not used well early on. Death Knight could be trying to come back over as well. Spellbreakers, Knights, really diving in a bit too far. Where is the Paladin? Paladin could be making its way over. Are we going to see a Staff of Sanctuary save that? No, it is not, as the Lich gets 60 experience. All right, units trying to make their way back the other way. Paladin, no, there's the Archmage. Paladin really needs to join in on this fight, as we're looking at Flying Machines scouting out and spotting this expansion off to the north. All right, Lich now making its way, trying to retreat back again. Knights are chasing, but the Undead, Unholy Aura giving such a big effect right there. Death Coil saving the Lich now. Knights taking a lot of damage. Are we going to see a Knight? Well, Knight gives the Death Knight level 6. As the units are now trying to go back every which way. Paladin has to be focused down, otherwise 400 hit point heals. Archmage currently also has a potion of healing, as the units are split back every which way. One Knight staying behind alongside those flying machines to make sure a single destroyer doesn't eat them alive. Spellbreaker perhaps going to get Staff of Sanctuary. There we go. Knights units still continuing to try and engage. Frost Armor right there. Spellbreakers, no spell steal on that Frost Armor. As we're looking at the Pit Lord, they're trying to get away. Knights continuing to battle it through. Water Elemental going after some low hit point Obsidian statues, as there is no mining left at that gold mine. All right, only 3 minutes of mining left here. One Water Elemental going after this very low hit point Obsidian statue. Gonna turn into a destroyer instead. Get a Death Coil. Devour some magic as the Pit Lord gets to level 5. All right, Haunted Gold Mine about to get taken down. Flying machines are right here, ready to go. Are they going to try and engage and going after that destroyer there? Flying machines, however, going to go ahead and shift back again. Mountain King should be ready to join in on the battle. Nope, wasn't resurrected early enough, as the flying machine is going to go ahead and fly after that destroyer. Destroyer trying to get away. Is it going to be able to survive here? Death Knight, Death Coil does save. Knights, Spellbreakers all in position. Flying machines diving in after that destroyer. Destroyer down to 200 hit points. One more volley should end up taking it down. Paladin gets to level 4, gets a potion of healing, and is now retreating back. Level 1 Devotion Aura may have Divine Shield, as the Knights are still getting some damage on those back units. All right, Archmage still wandering around. Paladin does use a Divine Shield. Holy Light there. Perhaps the Archmage, what happening? Mountain King shows up to the party, going after the Lich. Lich ends up surviving. Holy Light onto the Lich as well. Archmage is going to try and shift around. What is going down here? Mountain King. Archmage, there's a Death Coil finishing things off. 3 level 5 or 5+ heroes as the Mountain King tries to go after units. Stormbolt onto the Lich, shaken off as the Potion of Invulnerability was in time. How did you use a Potion of Invulnerability when you're right next to a Mountain King who throws a Stormbolt? I don't know. Holy Light saves right there. No Orb of Fire causing any other problems. Mountain King now going after this Obsidian statue. Obsidian statue down to 46 hit points. Off to the races. Level 3 Unholy Aura. So fast, allowing that Obsidian statue to escape. But the Lich saved again at the last moment. Mountain King perhaps wishing that there was Brilliance Aura of some sort to get off another Stormbolt, but unable to do so. 55 supply compared to 21. 3 heroes, very powerful, trying to carry the rest to victory. There it goes. Archmage shows up to the party. Mountain King now having enough mana, and with that Obsidian statue gone, the healing opportunities for Happy is pretty much now out the window. All right, Death Knight could have a lot of troubles. Lich gonna be in problems. Staff of Sanctuary saving a unit right there. Archmage, well, no, sorry, Paladin, using a Divine Shield again. Are we gonna see a surround? Yes, we are. Death Knight could end up staying alive as it slips away. Oh, how much damage? Staff of Sanctuary saving another unit right there. Death Knight down to 21 hit points, and that has got to be the game. A beautiful game back and forth, very well played by both players. Happy with the higher score with superior hero levels ends up losing the match as he was unable to overcome the economic advantage of Sock. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it.